At Gridhrakuta Mountain Cave, where the Buddha reviewed the mystery record for secret transmission along the Zen Sect lineage. Illustrative image. Inside the Gridhrakuta Mountain Cave, there were a total of 15 disciples of the Buddha, including Venerable Bhikshu Ananda, the one who stood to read the mystery record, Bhikshu Mahakashyapa, Bhikshu Kyo Tran Nu Kundinya, Bhikshu Kyo Trana, Bhikshu Kyo Tranti, Bhikshu Kyo Trani, Bhikshu Kyo Trana, Bhikshu Mahanama, Bhikshu Asaji, Bhikshu Vapa, Bhikshu Bedrika, Layman Vimalakirti, Layman Then the Chief Wang, Layman Fat Truong Man Quan, Laywoman Lam Ti Phuong Vu. When Venerable Bhikshu Ananda finished reading the mystery record, the Buddha taught Mahakashyapa as follows. Bhikshu Mahakashyapa, the mystery record that Venerable Bhikshu Ananda has just finished reading has been reviewed by the Tathagata. You are the only disciple of the Tathagata who has attained the profound and wondrous reasoning of the Tathagata's pure Zen Dharma path. In 1 more year, the Tathagata will return to the Buddha realm, which is the Tathagata's ancient homeland. The Tathagata is the Buddha who teaches this Dharma path of liberation after Kassapa Buddha, 7,890 years ago. For every Buddha upon attaining Buddhahood, no one among humanity living in the Bronze Age accepts this Dharma path of liberation. It requires a disciple who has seen their own pure Buddha nature to fully comprehend it. Now that you have seen your pure Buddha nature, the Tathagata entrusts you to secretly carry this mystery record and transmit it successively to those who follow. This is so that during the Dharma ending age, it may be handed over to the dragon daughter in the dragon land of the dragon country. Then, in the end of the highest Dharma stage, this dragon daughter will popularize and announce it, so that those who practice according to the Tathagata's way may know the formula to return to the Buddha realm. Thus, please strive to assist the Tathagata. Hearing the Buddha's teaching, Bhikshu Mahakashyapa immediately knelt, raised both hands to receive the mystery record, and promised the Buddha, "Respectfully, the world-honored one, I shall obey the world-honored one's instructions. May the world-honored one tell me, when I grow old, to whom must I entrust this mystery record to continue the secret transmission? I respectfully pray the world-honored one to teach me." The Buddha taught, Bhikshu Mahakashyapa, when you are old, transmit it to Ananda to continue the transmission. You shall also organize a transmission ceremony for this pure Zen Dharma path, just as the Tathagata transmitted it to you. Once Ananda has completed the pure Zen transmission ceremony, you shall instruct Ananda to change the name to Zen Sect. Why must the name be changed so? Because this pure Zen Dharma path of the Tathagata will begin to be transmitted, according to a clear sectarian lineage, so that in the Dharma ending age, the dragon daughter in the dragon land of the dragon country may receive it. 50 years after that, the dragon daughter will popularize and announce it. At Gridhrakuta Mountain Cave, the world-honored one entrusts the mystery record to Mahakashyapa for secret transmission along the Zen Sect lineage. Illustrative image. The world-honored one entrusts the mystery record to Mahakashyapa. The Buddha recited the following verses. Liberation is the way of Shakyamuni. Praying and begging are teachings of demons. Liberation assists many people to return to the Buddha realm for eternal peace and joy. Liberation means casting off the ego. Living with the Buddha nature ends reincarnation. Once liberation is correctly practiced, one is no longer bound by birth, death, and worldly cycles. Liberation is escaping the mundane world, no longer tethered to worldly sorrows and bonds. Liberation is the Dharma path of no seeking. Living with the Buddha nature is the essence of practicing Zen. This pure Zen I only transmit privately. Mahakashyapa alone receives this Dharma. Pure Zen I teach in this way. Only through purity are the strings of reincarnation severed. Once pure Zen is correctly practiced, birth, death, and reincarnation cease to seek us. Kashyapa, you must strive to preserve it, transmitting it along the Zen lineage to help those who follow. The dragon daughter shall receive it in a later age. The pure Zen Dharma will then be widely spread, transmitted exclusively at the Zen Pagoda, helping people attain liberation and return to their ancient homeland. The 5 continents will clearly see the past, the Zen that the Tathagata taught long ago in this place. Now, here at Gridhrakuta, the mystery record is established. I hand it over. Your duty is, for the sake of the world, to circulate Zen studies and help people escape the self. I entrust the mystery record to you in full. Accept your mission, this is your part to play. 10,000 people of posterity are waiting. The Dharma of liberation is now in your hands. Today witnessed by many. You must hold it fast and transmit it to future generations. Pure Zen is the one and only. The Dharma of liberation, the Tathagata has completed. My mission is now accomplished, leaving the pure Zen Dharma for those who follow. In the future, when human intellect is highly developed, only then teach this supreme Zen study to the world. The Tathagata has only taught a small portion. You must strive to preserve and gradually pass it on. When Ananda receives this Zen, hand over the mystery record to be transmitted to the next Patriarch. You shall teach the Zen Sect as follows. Exerting effort, contemplation, and visualization cannot escape the mundane. The Zen Sect only requires purity. Release, stop, cease, end. And the worldly path leaves us. I am the Buddha Shakyamuni. By transmitting the mystery record, my transmission is complete. May you all remain in peace. In 24 days I shall return home. The Zen Sect Patriarchs of 3 nations contributing to the mystery record. Patriarchs of India. The 12th Patriarch Ashvaghosha contributed to the flow of the Zen Sect source with a verse of 188 lines titled, Celebrating the Buddha's Birth. The verse celebrating the Buddha's birth is as follows. In the past, in the country of Kapilavastu, King Suddhodana ruled over all the people. His virtue was esteemed far and wide. Queen Maya was respected by all for her grace. On the 8th day of the 4th lunar month she labored, giving birth to a prince of perfect and handsome form, named Siddhartha. He was exceptionally brilliant, surpassed by none. Growing up, his talents became manifest. Within the royal clan none excelled him, while those in the royal palace lived joyfully. Out in the world many suffered in misery. The majority endured immense pain. Many were in such extremity that peace was far away. He asked the royal clan from near and far how to help those living in such deprivation. The royals said that in this world, this was the fate already settled for everyone. Hearing this, the prince was not pleased. His heart felt a mournful lack of peace. He presented himself before his royal father, requesting his father to clarify the doubts he held. The king, not knowing what to say, invited the royal kin to explain them to his son. Throughout the royal clan from top to bottom, no one could resolve the prince's doubts. The world's priests and talented men could only explain troubles of the external world. Hearing this, the king immediately invited Udraka Ramaputra, the foremost among sages. When the priest arrived at the royal court, the king spoke of the matters within the palace. If you can solve this, teacher, I shall rejoice. You will be rewarded, so do not hesitate. But if you do not know, then immediately, please leave the hall, having merely visited the king. The priest said it was as easy as play. I invite your majesty to ask as you wish. The king replied, It is not my wish, but that of the prince named Siddhartha. The priest immediately expressed his intent. Regardless of who asks, I shall explain at once. Even if the question reaches the highest heavens, I am ready to provide the answer right now. The prince then presented his case. In this world there are 2 classes of people, the wise and the foolish in 2 different places, the rich and the poor. Please explain this distinction. Why is heaven so unjust, where some cannot eat at all, while others cannot find a grain? If you know, then speak out. If not, please go out the door and return home. The priest's mind grew heavy. Unable to solve it, he had to return to further his practice. The king was forced to remain silent, letting the prince find his own way to clear understanding. He then bid farewell to his royal father, leaving his wife and child to enter the monastic life. Beginning with austerities, his body turned pale, until his strength was spent without producing the wondrous way. He then adjusted and ceased seeking, accepting a little milk from a shepherdess. Suddenly his health increased. He exerted effort in practicing visualization to find the truth, succeeding in far-reaching contemplation and visualization. Yet the things he doubted were not resolved at all. He sought to learn the most supreme reasoning. His reasoning reached the pinnacle surpassed by none. Regarding the things he still doubted, He exerted more effort to know them clearly. He could see into all 10 directions, yet still did not clearly understand his 4 doubts. He then entered purity immediately. Suddenly his mind became radiant, clarifying the 4 doubts. Testing it again and again without hesitation. Seeing the nature ocean, all doubts vanished. Rising, he sought his dear friends, to show the Zen practice to return to the ancient home. His 9 friends who practiced meditation before. He taught those venerable ones the practice for the dusty world. The 9 attained the full portion. Presenting their realization to Siddhartha, the prince then spoke out in full. Dipankara Buddha of old certifies me in this place. You all shall assist me in building the Buddhist Sangha, arraying the Zen practice here. His old friends spoke at once, agreeing but requesting the deities to bear witness. The prince had to ask a deity to confirm he had perfectly attained the 3 vidya. The 9 practitioners then stood firm in faith, establishing the Sangha to teach pure Zen. The prince clearly taught the Zen practice. The 9 received it and found it profoundly sacred. They presented their realization. The pure mind itself is the source. The 9 received it with tears flowing, tears streaming down, neither sad nor joyful. Everyone was moved with emotion, never expecting to realize the exquisite taste of pure Zen. Looking at the 3 realms like a painting, whoever enjoys gazing at it will be submerged in drowning. Therefore the Buddha taught to stop. Only purity is required, this is nirvana, so that the people of the world may know the Zen practice of Shakyamuni Buddha. You all shall repeat my words. Do not follow materiality, and you shall escape reincarnation. Zen practice is as simple as that. If you search or seek, you enter a life of drowning. Once more I teach the word stop. The pure mind itself is the source. The world called pure Zen madness. He taught the practice of contemplation, visualization and praying. Practicing contemplation and visualization in the heart. Once achieved, one possesses supernatural powers. The teachers received it with ease, going out to many countries to teach this Dharma. Next he taught reasoning, speaking so exhaustively that the world could not compare. Whatever was said in the world could not match the words he spoke. For this is the philosophy of Shakyamuni. Above the heavens and below, he points out this truth. Next, he taught the practice of seeking, exerting effort to doubt and seek throughout the world. When the mind becomes vastly concentrated, one sees the universe and the world as they are. The world was not yet satisfied with these 3 methods, praying for the Buddha to teach. I desire peace. The Buddha said, you all stay silent. When in purity, immediately recite the name A. That A is Amitabha Buddha, who has superdivine power to welcome those who love joy to the pure land where it is truly joyful. Birds sing and flowers are of noble jade. The ground is similar to gold, supporting the walker's feet with immense softness. In the morning one does not have to work, only needing to make offerings to the ancient Buddhas. Many people heard this and were very pleased, reciting the Buddha's name to the point of forgetting noon and eve. By doing so, many achieved results. Yet many who desired were still not satisfied. How to obtain supernatural powers that are truly mysterious within the mountains and forests. Therefore, he taught the secret transmission, reciting a mantra that is exceptionally sacred. Those who recite it found it very strange. With continuous recitation, the mystical spirit erupted. The 5 methods he taught to the end, all must be abandoned, for they are within reincarnation. Finally, he taught the method to cease, only needing purity within one's own mind. The Zen the Buddha taught at Vulture Peak is the pure Zen that is supremely sacred in this realm. Pure Zen the Buddha taught in this way. When seeing, just see it just like this. Pure Zen is neither standing nor sitting. No contemplation, no visualization, reincarnation is immediately left behind. Pure Zen the Buddha pointed out. Only purity is needed to enter nirvana immediately. All the affairs of the world. Do not stick, do not bind, do not concern yourself with anything. In the past, the Buddha taught, one's own pure mind is exactly nirvana. He taught so clearly. Living with the knowing nature is peace for 10,000 generations. Directly perceive the seeing nature at once. Reincarnation through many lives. What can it do to follow us? Zen practice is not about being silent. When seeing, just keep seeing, do not run after it. In Zen practice, do not fear wealth or poverty. If you do not sow karmic effects, how can they follow you? Pure Zen is not about being silent, but seeing, just seeing, leaving the vision as it is. The endless matters of affliction. If you do not stick or bind, you will be at peace immediately. Pure Zen the Buddha taught privately. To those of great blessing who immediately receive pure Zen, nirvana is within the heart. Not following physics is the end of reincarnation. The 30th century has arrived. The Zen flower ends right here. We have heard the teacher's instruction. Bowing 3 times, we ask the teacher to certify. Dedication of transcendental merit. Having finished celebrating the Buddha's birth, we vow to bring this transcendental merit into our lives. With hearts of unwavering gold and loyalty, we are determined to practice purity to end all drowning. The Buddha taught us only to stop. When our minds are pure, reincarnation stops at once. Today, at this miniature vulture peak, we respectfully pray the Buddha to accept these words. Here we respectfully vow. The strings of birth, death, and reincarnation are now severed. The hardships of our lives have come to an end, thanks to the Buddha pointing out the Zen Sect path. Our minds are currently empty. With one heart we practice the Zen Sect. Even if the world were to be destroyed, or the void itself disintegrated, our resolve remains firm. Thanks to the Buddha we have risen, surpassing birth, death, and reincarnation. O Buddha, how great is our blessing! Today birth and death have ended for us. Namo, the master of the Saha world, our original teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The Patriarchs of China. The 6th Patriarch Nguyen was the only individual permitted by the Buddha's mystery record to announce this mystery record for the first time. The ceremony for the first announcement of the Buddha's mystery record by the 6th Patriarch Nguyen was as follows. At exactly 8 a.m. on the 10th day of the 5th lunar month in the year of the Yang water rat, during the Taiji Yenha era, corresponding to June 25, 712 AD, the 6th Patriarch Nguyen ascended the high platform and solemnly spoke. To the Honorable Minister of Culture Xue Jian, representing the wise Empress Wu Zetian. To the Honorable Governor of Guangzhou Province Lin Zhongqing. To the Honorable Magistrate of Xinzhou County Zhou Chongjun. And to all those present today. I am Lu Huining, the 33rd Patriarch of the Zen Sect. Obeying the instructions of the Buddha Shakyamuni today, the 10th day of the 5th lunar month in the year of the Yang water rat, corresponding to June 25, 712 by the Western calendar, I wish to announce the following. On the 10th day of the 1st lunar month, I submitted a letter to the wise Empress Wu Zetian regarding the announcement of the complete mystery record that the Buddha Shakyamuni taught and instructed me to reveal. The wise Empress Wu Zetian approved and appointed 3 officials. Minister of Culture Xue Jian, Governor of Guangzhou Province Lin Zhongqing, Magistrate of Xinzhou County Zhou Chongjun, to attend today's announcement ceremony, along with representatives from over 60 surrounding pagodas, and those who practice according to the teachings of the Buddha Shakyamuni. The number of participants today is approximately 700 people. I would like to solemnly speak on the origin of the Zen Sect source as follows. This Zen Sect source was not transmitted by the Tathagata through ordinary scriptures. Rather, the world-honored one transmitted it along the Zen Sect lineage. First, at the distant Gridhrakuta mountain cave in the country of Kapilavastu, the world-honored one entrusted the first Zen Sect Patriarch Mahakashyapa with the following tokens to be transmitted along the Zen Sect lineage. The alms bowl and water vessel of the world-honored one. The robe of the world-honored one used when he went outside his chamber. And this mystery record. Today, I solemnly announce the mystery record of the world-honored one transmitted along the Zen Sect lineage for 3 primary purposes. For those who practice Buddhism to know. For future generations to understand. So that during the Dharma ending age in the Dragon Land, a dragon daughter may receive this mystery record, and subsequently have her child popularize it across the 5 continents. Throughout 8 months, my disciples have copied 600 volumes of this mystery record to distribute 1 volume to each representative at today's ceremony. At this point, members of the organizing committee distributed 1 volume of the mystery record to each attendee. Once the distribution was complete, the 6th Patriarch continued. Ladies and gentlemen, this mystery record was personally taught by the Buddha to 15 of his disciples and those laypeople who had attained the pure Zen secrets, which was then recorded and given to Patriarch Mahakashyapa for secret transmission along the Zen Sect lineage. The final Zen Sect Patriarch in India was Bodhidharma, who transmitted it to China. I am the 5th person in China to attain the Zen Sect secrets and thus receive the 33rd Patriarch seat according to the Zen Sect lineage. The reason I am known as the 6th Patriarch is as follows. When Patriarch Bodhidharma came to China, he was called the first Patriarch of the Zen Sect. Thus, in our land, Bodhidharma is considered the first, which places me as the 6th in the Zen Sect Patriarch lineage of China. In this mystery record, the Buddha Shakyamuni specifically taught me, when I am near my passing, this mystery record must be announced so that many may know it. This year I am 74 years old, with 1 year remaining before I enter stillness. For nearly a year, I have had my disciples copy it into 600 volumes to distribute today. This means that this top-secret Zen Sect Dharma path, once announced today, is no longer top secret. Why is this? Those who receive this mystery record, if capable, should copy it as much as possible to pass it on to others and to posterity, in order to erase the delusions and misunderstandings people have about human life and the universe. The 6th Patriarch Huaining taught further. Shenhui is my senior disciple. He has been assigned by his fellow disciples to read this mystery record, so that many may hear and transcribe it. Today there are only 600 volumes, which is not enough for everyone. Those who have not yet received a volume, please register with the committee so we may know the quantity to copy more as gifts. The 6th Patriarch Huaining taught further. In this mystery record, the Buddha Shakyamuni taught that when humanity reaches a high peak of civilization, superstitions will be eradicated. Thanks to this, those who realize the Zen Sect essence will be innumerable. Those who attain the Zen Sect secrets will be countless. Those returning to the pure nature ocean will be the most, since the world-honored one first taught this pure Zen Dharma path. In the 12th chapter of the Lotus Sutra, the Buddha Shakyamuni taught, in the Dharma ending age in the Dragon Land, a woman will receive this mystery record. Subsequently, in the end of the highest Dharma stage, this dragon daughter will have her disciples popularize it across all continents. It is also thanks to today, with the wise Empress Wu Zetian's permission, that I am able to announce it. As a result, in future generations many will realize the Zen Sect essence, attain the Zen Sect secrets, return to the Buddha realm. The 6th Patriarch Huaining explained regarding transcendental merit. Helping someone realize the Zen Sect essence earns 1 part of transcendental merit. Helping someone attain the Zen Sect secrets earns great transcendental merit. Helping someone return to the Buddha realm earns immeasurable transcendental merit. Such a person is called a person of the way with nothing to practice and nothing to attain, as the Buddha Shakyamuni taught in the Sutra of 42 chapters. Today's announcement of the mystery record is thanks to the grace of the wise Empress Wu Zetian and the 3 leading officials, the Minister of Culture and Religion, the Governor of Guangzhou, and the Magistrate of Xinzhou. On behalf of the Buddha Shakyamuni, I sincerely thank the Empress and the 3 gentlemen. From this moment on, any of you here who reads this mystery record and perceives your own pure Buddha nature, constantly lives with that pure Buddha nature, will be equal to the Zen Sect Patriarchs. However, as my time as Patriarch ends, the Patriarch seat of the Zen Sect will no longer be transmitted. Instead, those who understand the Zen Sect Dharma path will be divided into 3 categories. Those with a general understanding of the Zen Sect are said to have realized the Zen Sect essence. If they wish for a certificate, our Zen Sect Pagoda will issue one to confirm their fundamental knowledge. They are called Zen Sect Buddhists and are granted a green Zen Sect Buddhist sash. Those who read the mystery record and understand all the Buddha's teachings, and have poetry or verses flowing from their own pure Buddha nature, at least 12 lines expressing the profound and wondrous nature of this Zen Sect study, may request the Nguyen Zen Sect Pagoda to grant a certificate of attaining the Zen Sect secrets. The Pagoda will issue the certificate and perform the ceremony to transmit the Zen Sect secrets, providing all that the Tathagata transmitted along the Zen Sect lineage. Such a person is called a Zen Sect adept. The first Zen Sect adept in China is the wise Empress Wu Zetian. Those who hold the certificate for Zen Sect essence and have attained the Zen Sect secrets and who help over 30 people realize the Zen Sect essence, and over 15 people attain the Zen Sect secrets, are qualified to be bestowed the title of Zen Sect Master, abbreviated as Zen Master if they are monastics. If they are lay people, they are called a lay Zen Sect Master, abbreviated as lay Zen Master. If they request it, our Nguyen Zen Sect Pagoda will organize a ceremony to bestow these titles. Specifically, there are 2 other cases where one may be bestowed the title of Zen Sect Master or lay Zen Sect Master. 1. A person who has just received the Zen Sect Essence Certificate, but has a great heart to bring this Zen Sect study to many others, may also be bestowed the title to have the standing to help others. 2. A person who has just read Zen Sect books or the Buddha's mystery record and possesses great enthusiasm for this Zen Sect study, may also be bestowed the title of lay Zen Sect Master without going through the sequential stages. I have 1 more year before I leave this physical world of yin and yang cause and effect. Any of you present today who, in the future, reads this mystery record and achieves the 3 aforementioned parts, if you request a certificate or title, the Nguyen Zen Sect Pagoda will perform it, and you will not lose a single cent. Finally, when this mystery record is distributed, those realizing the Zen Sect essence will be innumerable, those attaining the Zen Sect secrets will be many, and those bestowed as Zen Sect Masters or lay Zen Sect Masters will be very numerous. Therefore, my disciples, prepare to issue certificates and diplomas to those who request them. Answer questions regarding this Zen Sect Dharma study. From today, focus on continuing to copy this mystery record to provide to anyone in need. Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony for the announcement of the Buddha's mystery record transmitted along the Zen Sect lineage concludes here. Once again, I sincerely thank Empress Wu Zetian, Mr. Shuijian, Mr. Lin Zhongqing, and Mr. Zhou Changjun for attending. Before you depart, the Nguyen Zen Sect Pagoda has prepared a vegetarian meal. Please join us. Respectfully invited. The Patriarchs of Vietnam. King Tran Nhan Tong of Vietnam is the 34th Patriarch of the Zen Sect lineage, contributing to the Buddha's mystery record secretly transmitted along the Zen Sect lineage. A verse of 204 lines. The Buddha first transmitted Zen. Mahakashyapa immediately knew the lotus flower. The lotus flower shone brighter than any lamp, dispelling the darkness to instantly perceive the ancient home. The Zen Sect the Buddha transmitted of old. Kashyapa received it and found his own ancient home. Seeing it so, he remained in silence. Only a slight smile as the Buddha performed the transmission. With the transmission, dreams vanished entirely. Stepping across the barrier of the ocean tide sound, Kashyapa received it in secret, transmitting it in turn to the person who became the second patriarch. The second patriarch received it through the ear faculty. He smiled constantly, for his drowning had ended. Ananda realized the dharma of stopping. The birth and death of reincarnation, he ceased to follow. He then transmitted the patriarch's seat. Shanavasa became the third patriarch. The third patriarch learned to perceive it. Next, Upagupta perceived the Zen Dharma. The fifth Gridhrakuta had the affinity, officially receiving the fifth patriarch's seat. Gridhrakuta, in quiet silence, transmitted the Zen Dharma to Mahakashyapa. The sixth patriarch perceived it. Vasumitra understood the Zen source profoundly. The Zen sect was officially transmitted to Buddhanandi to be the next patriarch. Buddhamitra heard the ancient Buddha's mystery, seeking Buddhanandi to be transmitted the Zen sect Dharma. The ninth patriarch received it with anticipation, finding the 10th patriarch, the Venerable Parshva. In the past, by Shakyamuni's mystery record, the 11th was Punyayashas who received the transmission. Punyayashas sought one with affinity, Ashvaghosha, who longed for Shakyamuni Buddha's Zen. The 12th patriarch spoke out. The 13th was Patriarch Kapimala who succeeded him. Nagarjuna received it in silence, waiting with Kapimala for a private transmission. The 15th was Kanadeva. With eloquent words he perceived the Zen Dharma. Knowing he had sufficient affinity, Nagarjuna transmitted Zen to make him the 15th patriarch. In old age, alone and in secret, seeking a person who understood the way to entrust the Zen sect. In the country of Pataliputra there was a man, Rahulata was his venerable name. The 15th patriarch arrived to receive him at once. That person was worthy to receive the Zen source. The 16th knew the sacred mystery. officially transmitted the Zen Sect Patriarch seat. Going south, he met Sanganandi. Prince Sanganandi knew the marrow of the Zen Sect. The 17th Patriarch was he. Traveling across the lands also hoping to transmit Zen. Meeting Gayashita, who had the affinity, he was transmitted Zen to be the next Patriarch. The 19th was Kumarata, of a noble Brahmin clan. Venerable Kumarata had great affinity, understanding the very root of Shakyamuni Buddha's Zen. The 18th Patriarch remembered what was in Shakyamuni Buddha's mystery record. The 19th was Kumarata. The Patriarch's seat continued Shakyamuni's transmission. In old age, his worldly ties ended, officially transmitting Zen to the 20th Patriarch. Perceiving Jayata as superior to others, clear in the study of Zen with none to compare. The previous Patriarch's mystery record said, Vajabandhu shall be the next Patriarch. Thus Jayata followed accordingly, transmitting to Vajabandhu the Zen Sect Patriarch seat. The 21st seat was completed. Vajabandhu sought a person to continue the Zen, seeking a person of style for a private entrustment, the wondrous and sacred Zen sect of this land. Manarita desired to build the Zen Dharma path to be circulated here. Haklanayashas officially had sufficient affinity. Manarita transmitted Zen, fully bestowing the Zen sect, the secret true Dharma within the heart. There was Venerable Simha waiting for the Zen source. The Brahmin had great affinity, officially receiving Zen as the 24th Patriarch. His mind had reached the state of as-is. Patriarch Simha was exactly as the vow foretold, seeking a person with enough merit and affinity, officially transmitting Zen to be the 25th Patriarch. Bashishita of Kashmir vowed to follow Simha, praying for the Zen Dharma. Simha saw he had enough affinity, transferring the Zen Dharma as the 25th Patriarch. The 26th, Punyamitra, of the Kshatriya lineage, also longed for the Buddha. The Buddha of Shakyamuni. Due to his desire, his royal father consented. When he had received the Dharma, Prajnatara greatly desired to meet him. Considering past lives and the present, with a predestined affinity, he received the Zen Dharma. The Zen Sect, India called it madness. Therefore the Zen Dharma had to go to the east, crossing rivers and circling the seas, following the Red Strait to reach the coast of Vietnam. Bodhidharma, the 28th, faced many hardships, seeking one of great affinity to transfer the Zen Dharma. Meeting Emperor Wu of Liang, for a private audience, the king immediately said, Teacher, you are mad. The Patriarch boarded a boat, forced to head to sea. In the land of Northern Wei, he rested at leisure. Mount Dongyue pointed out Haik. When Haik received it, his tears overflowed. Presenting to the village the Patriarch of the East, Sunken was ill and dared not pray for it, begging Haik to cure him. In his miserable illness, he longed for nothing. As recorded in the mystery record, Sunken accepted the 30th Patriarch's seat. Upon receiving the seat, he was joyful. Spreading it everywhere, everyone was at peace. When old, he sought a person to entrust the Patriarch's seat to the next, regardless of whether rich or poor, as long as they received the wondrous way of Shakyamuni Buddha. Daoshin found him and asked, How can I surpass reincarnation? Sunken taught Daoshin to cease. Many lives of birth and death ended for him then. Daoxin received it with ease. I vow with one heart to serve Shakyamuni's Zen. Old age appeared in turn, seeking a person to continue Shakyamuni's transmission. Hungren, a teacher with affinity, was brought back, raised and transmitted Zen. Hungren received the Dharma and immediately sought throughout the world for those longing to practice Zen. Thus he spread it to all regions, finding one of great affinity to transmit Zen next. There was a very poor woodcutter. Hearing someone recite, he followed and asked at once, What sutra has such sacred verses? I just heard it and immediately perceived emptiness nature. Hongren spread it across mountains and rivers. The sutra I recite is the Diamond Zen. Alone, enduring misery and hardship. East Zen was too far, yet he set out on the road. When he arrived, the Patriarch asked what he sought. I seek to become a Buddha. I seek nothing else. The Patriarch said, No Buddha to seek. Huineng immediately said, Buddha is not outside. The fifth patriarch saw Huaining was talented. Fearing harm, he pointed him to the kitchen. For 8 months he was busy, pounding rice, carrying water without a cent or coin. Realizing Zen, he knew it only for himself. The fifth patriarch transmitted Zen as the 33rd patriarch. To this point in Shakyamuni's mystery record, the pure Zen Dharma must leave this place. The transmission of Zen ends here. But the Zen source flow shall flow forever, flowing to all places in the mortal world, flowing to the southern country, stopping exactly at Long Tan. Today I, the king, perceive it clearly. The pure Zen Dharma resides in Tanglong. The Zen Sect is not about exerting effort. Only purity is needed to end reincarnation. The Zen Sect is as simple as that. If you search or seek, you enter a life of drowning. Therefore the Buddha taught to stop. Not following materiality. Reincarnation stops at once. Today at the Yen2 platform, I now popularize the intent of Shakyamuni. If anyone of great affinity perceives it, the Zen Sect true Dharma of Shakyamuni's transmission. Whoever is blessed with great affinity, I shall transmit Zen as the next patriarch. The Zen Sect wades through streams and crosses passes, following the perilous path to go down to the south. The land of Viet meets with hardship, residing peacefully in central Viet, waiting for the home country's peace. The Zen Sect shall officially erupt in the Dragonland, popularizing across 5 continents. The Zen Sect reaches its beginning, erasing the religions of praying, contemplation, visualization, and begging. Here is the most sacred teaching, popularizing our own Zen study of Shakyamuni. You all hear my verses. Write down the mystery record of Shakyamuni's transmission. Help those blessed with great affinity. Receive the Zen source to end all drowning. Teach posterity to know how to stop. For this is the mission. Remember not to forget. The people of Viet shall know how to repay the Buddha's teachings. Do not forget them in your heart. Popularize it across mountains and rivers. For those of great affinity longing for the Zen Dharma, those who receive it will end all madness, knowing the Zen practice of Shakyamuni Buddha. The Zen Sect of the land of Viet erupts across 5 continents and 4 seas. Every house is joyful. Whoever receives it will naturally smile, for they have returned to their own radiant ancient home. Tan Du Zen Sect Pagoda. In 1950, my biological mother, Mrs. Tran T. Lu, was gifted 4 books by Zen Master Thich Duk Ha, the mystery record of the Buddha secretly transmitted along the Zen Sect lineage. The Buddha teaches how to practice the Zen Sect. The lives and enlightenment of the 36 Zen Sect patriarchs, India, China, and Vietnam. King Tran Nhan Tong teaches his children how to protect the country, beliefs, and the truth of the earth. Zen Master Thich Duk Ha instructed my mother on 4 parts. First, your mission is to continue the Zen Sect lineage of the Tathagata, which was secretly transmitted. The Tathagata left a prophecy in the 12th chapter of the Lotus Sutra. The Dragon Daughter teaches how to become a Buddha. Second, these 4 books contain the Tathagata's summary of all 6 Dharma paths of Buddhism, which have not been fully taught anywhere throughout the long history of Buddhism. Now I entrust them to your care. When your youngest son turns 20, hand them over to him. Exactly 50 years after that, he shall write books about this Zen Sect study. Third, today I bestow upon you the Dharma title Zen Sect Master Nun Duk Thao, so that you have the standing to hold these 4 precious books. Fourth, exactly 12 years from now, hand them over to your youngest son to fulfill the mission clearly taught by the Buddha in this mystery record. For the reasons mentioned above, in 1956, my mother applied for permission from the authorities of Duk Hoa District, Cholan Province, to build a pagoda named Tan Du Zen Sect Pagoda, 273 Chan Hoi Hamlet, Tan Mai Commune, Duk Hoa District, Cholan Province. In 1958, my mother handed over this Tan Du Zen Sect Pagoda to me, Nguyen Song Nhan, for management. To grant me the standing to preserve the Tan Du Zen Sect Pagoda and the 4 aforementioned books, my mother bestowed upon me the title Lay Zen Master Nguyen Nhan and taught me 8 parts as follows. You shall preserve this Tan Du Zen Sect Pagoda and tell no one about this Zen Sect study. Read these 4 books repeatedly. Once you truly understand the profound and wondrous intent taught by the Buddha, set them aside. Continue your studies and business normally, disclosing them to no one. When Vietnam is reunified, political stability is achieved, and the people are at peace, apply for permission to renovate this Tandu Zen Sect pagoda in the true Zen Sect style. Gradually popularize this Zen Sect study, from the fundamental to the advanced, for those who are interested to read. Regarding those who read the books you write, those who understand the fundamentals of this Zen Sect study, if they request a certificate of their understanding, you shall issue them a certificate of realizing the Zen Sect essence. Remember not to accept a single cent from them. Call them Zen Sect Buddhists by their real names. Those who thoroughly understand your books and have verses flowing from their own pure Buddha nature, at least 12 lines regarding this Zen Sect study, if they request it, grant them a certificate for attaining the Zen Sect secrets, and perform the ceremony to transmit the Zen Sect secrets to them. Do not accept a single cent. Call them Zen Sect adepts by their real names. Any Zen Sect adept who helps over 30 people realize the Zen Sect essence, helps over 15 people attain the Zen Sect secrets, if they desire, bestow the title Zen Sect Master, abbreviated as Zen Master, if they are a monastic. Address them as Zen Master, followed by their Dharma title. Bestow the title Lay Zen Sect Master, if they are a layman or an ordinary person. Address them as Lay Zen Master, followed by their full name or their middle and given names. 10 years after you begin writing the books, apply for permission to announce this mystery record. Exactly 6 months after announcing the mystery record, you must standardize this Zen Sect study. Why? For 2 reasons. First, many will understand and practice correctly, truly wishing to return to the Buddha realm. Second, many will pretend to follow but actually infiltrate to find ways to sabotage this Zen Sect study. These include those who lose their vested interests or those following religions established by beings living outside of cause and effect. Exactly 1 year after the announcement, this Dharma path will be halted, and you must switch to another formula. Your main purpose is to announce the mystery record so everyone knows that Buddhism has 6 distinct Dharma paths, each leading to a different way. Anyone is free to choose whichever path they wish to follow. Therefore, in 2006, I applied for permission to renovate the Tandu Zen Sect Pagoda and sequentially popularize this Zen Sect study. On May 14, 2017, I applied for permission to announce the mystery record of the Buddha, which was secretly transmitted along the Zen Sect lineage. Currently, many Vietnamese people at home and abroad know of the Buddha's mystery record, which teaches the 6th Dharma path, ensuring that Buddhism has all 6 paths of practice. Anyone is free to follow whichever path they choose. The ceremony bestowing the title of Lay Zen Sect Master. My mother recited the text bestowing the title of Lay Zen Sect Master upon me as follows. Namo, the Master of the Saha world, our original teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Respectfully to the world-honored one, today the 15th day of the 10th month in 1958, the 3rd day of the 9th month, year of the Young Earth Dog. At the Zen Sect main hall of Tandu Zen Sect Pagoda, we perform the ceremony to bestow the title of Lay Zen Sect Master upon our son, Nguyen Nhan, born on September 17, 1938, in Cho Lan, residing at 72 Hung Vong Street, Tan Mai Tay Village, Gia Dinh Province. We offer incense, lamps, flowers, tea, fruits, and many offerings in this ceremony. We respectfully pray for the world-honored one and the Buddhas of the 10 directions to bear witness. According to the mystery record of the world-honored one, the Zen Sect source shall erupt in the Dragon Land in the 20th century. Following the teachings of the world-honored one, the mystery record secretly transmitted along the Zen Sect lineage was received by the Dragon Daughter, who is I. The world-honored one prophesied that this Zen Sect study must wait until the Age of Enlightenment to begin its popularization. Obeying his instructions today at the main hall of Tandu Zen Sect Pagoda, I officially perform the ceremony to bestow the title of Lay Zen Sect Master upon Nguyen Nhan, and also entrust this mystery record to him, so that he may fulfill the teachings of the world-honored one. Before performing the rite, we offering incense. Fragrant smoke spreads across the blue sky. The ultimate goal of my heart is a virtuous vow. Upon this day's incense smoke, may the Buddha reside, to witness for the disciple receiving this Zen Sect bestowal. Prostration to the Buddha. Respectfully I bow to the compassionate Buddha who saves the world, bringing the Zen way to universally aid all sentient beings. May the mortal world know the path of Zen practice, Thanks to the pure mind, the brilliant light shows the way. Prostration to the Dharma. Respectfully I bow to the Dharma, the means of liberation, the root of Zen practice, the true Dharma of old. Many have attained abundant enlightenment, for they have come to know their own ancient home. Prostration to the Sangha. Respectfully I bow to the Sangha who strictly uphold the precepts. The conduct of the Sangha is not one thing, in pure poverty, self-enlightened to the truth, helping others to fully realize the Zen Sect. Revering the Buddha jewel. The Buddha is the supreme enlightened one, establishing the Zen way to save and aid sentient beings. Strict laws and prohibitions were proclaimed. He is the guide who clearly points out the path of practice. The mortal world is misty and dark, knowing not where the path to escape the self lies. First, a superhuman being appeared, lifting himself above the mundane, stepping away from worldly life. Here is the disciple who longs for the truth, severing worldly ties to follow and learn, respectfully offering a heart of sincerity, to serve the world-honored one and the supreme Zen way. Revering the Dharma jewel. The Buddha's Dharma teaches the principles of truth, following the Zen Sect to learn the Zen practice. 3 robes, 1 chamber, following affinities. The pure Dharma path. Those with affinity shall understand the words. The Dharma of liberation from worldly affairs. To return to the Buddha realm in leisure. Living in purity with ease. Pure Zen opens the gate to the mystical portal. The powerful teachings awaken the spirit, helping sentient beings end the sickness of torpor. How precious is the profound and wondrous Dharma. With all our hearts we sincerely practice Zen. Revering the Sangha jewel. The Sangha are the practitioners of purity. Mind and body are empty, unstained by worldly dust. Leaving home, severing attachments, disregarding the physical self, extinguishing the ego to take up the duty of saving beings. The Sangha are those who carry out the Buddha Dharma, bringing the Zen way to teach throughout the world. In the spreading fires of the red dust, the rain of Zen studies pours down to extinguish them at once. The Holy Sangha's merits are infinitely deep, aiding sentient beings despite all hardships. Grateful for their boundless virtue, we shall forever worship and revere them without fail. Offering to the Triple Gem. Respectfully I bow to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the Triple Gem. Witness my filial heart in making these offerings. These goods come from a virtuous source. We have acquired them through wholesome means. Now we vow with a sincere heart to offer them. May the higher powers accept and witness. We pray that all sentient beings practice Zen studies and no longer endure drowning. The Zen Sect the Buddha taught, I rejoice, rejoicing because birth and death have stopped for me. We are determined with unwavering hearts to practice purity and no longer endure drowning. Now we know how to stop. Not following physics, reincarnation stops at once. Today, before the Buddha's altar, respectfully we pray the Buddha to accept these words. We respectfully vow here. At Tandu Zen Sect we take this oath. We have ended all affinities, practicing Zen studies to no longer endure drowning. We have known the Dharma of stopping. To keep the mind pure, reincarnation stops at once. Today, before the Buddha's altar, we perform this ceremony, praying for his witness. We shall strive to preserve the Zen study Dharma path within us. We are determined with unwavering hearts that the Zen study Dharma path shall always remain in the world, helping many end their hardships. The Zen study Dharma path shall remain forever, circulating throughout the mortal world, helping people attain liberation in this very life. We vow here that the Zen study Dharma path shall be circulated from this place. We shall strive to assist the affinities, helping those of great blessing to immediately receive the Zen Sect. We vow within our hearts to help people realize the Zen Sect in this place. Attend Zen Sect here. We shall strive to popularize Zen, helping those with sufficient merit and affinity to practice Zen studies and immediately end all drowning. The Zen Sect the Buddha taught, only to stop. Many lives of reincarnation will stop at once. In your main hall, we perform this ceremony, praying for your witness. We shall give all our strength to circulate and popularize the brilliant Zen study. Respectfully we pray the Buddha to assist our affinities, helping us transmit the Dharma to those in need. Despite 10,000 hardships, We are determined to help those who need clear understanding. The Zen Sect popularized across mountains and rivers, helping people attain liberation within this life. Attend Zen Sect here. Anyone desiring liberation shall be helped at once. We take a sacred vow that the Zen study Dharma path shall be transmitted to posterity. We vow to one another that the Zen study Dharma path shall be transmitted for 10,000 generations to come. The verse bestowing the title of lay Zen Sect Master upon Nguyen Nhan. Long ago, the lotus bloomed at Vulture Peak. The Tathagata taught Zen, more precious than jade or gold. Transmitted through many countries with hardship, traveling everywhere, it now rests in peace here. We have heard the teacher's instruction, seeking many ways to circulate Zen. Today, the Nguyen family has the affinity. We bestow the title and grant the certificate to Nhan, that knows not to seek or desire. Just let his own Buddha nature act. We act as such, it is right, not interfering with the words of our Buddha nature. Those bestowed as lay Zen Sect Masters must follow the transmitted teachings of Shakyamuni. Today, and has great affinity, receiving the Zen source of Shakyamuni Buddha. According to our teacher's instruction, the one receiving the transmitted office of lay Zen Sect Master is one who already possesses great affinity and must preserve the Zen Dharma to help those who follow. Today, before the Supreme Being, I officially bestow the title and grant the certificate to you. You should keep it within your heart, helping people end their suffering to return to the ancient home. From now on, whether early or late, if anyone needs help, disregard the hour. Wholeheartedly help the people of the world, so they may be enlightened and return to the ancient home in peace. Teach them to strive to perceive. Living with the Buddha nature is the only way out of reincarnation. The practitioner of purity must cease. Cease searching, cease seeking, drowning is then finished. Therefore the Buddha taught to stop. Not following materiality, reincarnation stops at once. The Zen sect is only taught to those determined to attain liberation. Teach them this Dharma at once. Today here at Dieu, I officially bestow the title and certify dedication of Transcendental merit. The bestowal ceremony is now complete. We vow to bring this transcendental merit into our lives. We are determined with unwavering hearts to practice purity and no longer endure drowning. The Buddha taught us only to stop. When our minds are pure, reincarnation stops at once. Today, before the Buddha's altar, respectfully we pray the Buddha to accept these words. We respectfully vow here. The strings of birth, death, and reincarnation are now severed. The hardships of our lives have come to an end, thanks to the Buddha pointing out the Zen sect path. Our minds are currently empty. With one heart, we are determined to practice the Zen sect. Even if the world were to be destroyed, or the void itself disintegrated, our resolve remains firm. Thanks to the Buddha we have risen, surpassing birth, death, and reincarnation. O Buddha, how great is our blessing! Today birth and death have ended for us. Namo the Master of the Saha world, our original teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo the Master of the Saha world, our original teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo the Master of the Saha world, our original teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. 3 times 3 bows 3 bell tolls. The Buddha's private teachings for the bestowed lay Zen sect master. This Zen sect study Dharma path is permitted to be taught only to the following 2 types of people. Those who always desire enlightenment and liberation. You must find many means to assist them. Those who always desire to understand the essence of what the Tathagata taught in this world. You must strive to help them. Conversely, do not speak a single word or sentence to the following 5 types of people. Those who always live with their human nature. Those who love to praise others. Those who enjoy being children or servants to others. Those who love to act as teachers to the world. Those who crave fame, profit, and status. 6 tasks of a lay Zen sect master. Constantly live with your own Buddha nature. Use human nature only as the situation requires, and use it sparingly. Materiality. If you possess it, you must preserve it. Do not be wasteful and use it reasonably. Since you still carry the body of the 4 great elements, live your life as you did before, but do not do anything that harms others, and do not engage in arguments with others. Must be humble with everyone. Do not boast about being a lay Zen master. Whatever is stated in the Tathagata's mystery record, you should learn it by heart. If there is anything you do not understand, ask the one who performed the ceremony to bestow the lay Zen Sect Master title upon you. Tandu Zen Sect Pagoda, October 15, 1958. The third day of the 9th lunar month, year of the young Earth Dog. The proposer, Lay Zen Master Chan Hu Fong. Sign, the issuer of the Lay Zen Sect Master Certificate. Sign, the Abbot of Tandu Zen Sect Pagoda. Zen Master Nguyen. A 24-line verse. Next, my mother recited a 24-line verse for us to hear as follows. The Zen flower bloomed at Vulture Peak. I have received it more precious than jade or gold. As the homeland is not yet at peace, the Zen sect cannot yet be expanded in this place. Children, remember my words. When the mountains and rivers are reunited, popularize Zen here. When all people gather in peace, the Zen source flow must erupt and spread far. The compassion of Shakyamuni Buddha, after 25 centuries, appears in this place. Children, remember my words. When the age of wisdom arrives, build the Zen sect pagoda. Though the beginning may bring troubles, and many wish to destroy it, do not be distressed. The Vajra deity will provide immediate help. I have shown you where the funds are. Have no worries for the future. Whether the pagoda is small or large, the key is to record the teachings for everyone. The Zen sect brings benefits everywhere. Many will realize the way and smile with the Zen sect. The treasury of the true Dharma is within the heart. The wondrous nirvana is manifesting here. The funds I have left at the base of the tree. In the age of wisdom, use them to build the Buddha's altar. My two brothers and I listened to our master recite the 24-line verse and burst into tears. We cried not out of fear of the responsibility, but because we wondered if we could endure the burden and fulfill this mission. While I was still weeping, my eldest brother, Lay Zen Master Chan Hu Luan, also crying, knelt down and presented a 20-line verse to our master through choked sobs. We shall remember your words, master. Vowing to open and circulate the Zen sect in this place. Please rest your heart and sleep in peace. We vow to fulfill our promise without fail. Those who come to the little Vulture Peak, upon seeing the lotus bloom, will recognize the Zen light. We are determined to keep our vow, fulfilling the aspiration to let the Zen path reach far. We vow before Shakyamuni Buddha, to help the deluded realize the Zen source. From now on, ending all madness and turmoil. Fulfilling our vow before Shakyamuni Buddha. We vow to manifest and reveal, joining our strengths to speak your words, Master. We offer this vow today. To establish many means, so please do not worry. Whether the Zen path be small or large. Those who come to Vulture Peak must strive to practice Zen. May the Buddhas assist our affinities. We vow and pray for this, forever without end. Words from the author, Lay Zen Master Nguyen Nhan. When I was bestowed as a Lay Zen sect master and received the mystery record, I did not know what to do. I kept searching from place to place, hoping to hand it over to masters of high virtue. However, I traveled throughout the country, and no one knew what this Zen sect study was, so I could not entrust the mystery record to anyone. It was not until 2006 that we began renovating Tandu Zen Sect Pagoda. The pagoda was completed in 2009, and the Zen Sect Buddha altar was finished in 2012. My elder brother, Lay Zen Master Chan Hu Fong, reached the time to go into seclusion and cease all contact with others. He left a 16-line farewell verse as follows. The Zen lotus bloomed at Vulture Peak. In the Dragon Land, a spiritual mountain has risen, crossing rivers and seas alone. Flowing through many lands, it has stopped here. We have heard our master's teachings, seeking many ways so the source flow remains constant. The Zen sect flows through the mortal world. Reaching the Dragon Land, it remains as the Zen sect. We shall forever vow in our hearts. The source in the Dragon Land must flow far away. Long ago, the Tathagata's prophecy stated, after 25 centuries, it would appear in the Dragon Land. We vow within our hearts to establish many means for the Dragon source to flow. We look up to the Compassionate One to help those with great affinity attain enlightenment like us. From then on, I took up the mission alone. Knowing not what else to do, I decided to popularize this Dharma path through books. To date, we have completed 9 volumes. According to the Buddha's mystery record, To help humanity avoid blind superstition, this mystery record must be announced. Anyone who reads it will no longer fall into superstition. Therefore, I sought ways to popularize this mystery record. Up to now, nearly 6,000 people have realized the Zen Sect essence. Nearly 600 people have attained the Zen Sect secrets. Nearly 60 people have been bestowed as lay Zen Sect Masters. I must also clarify, when I first received this mystery record, I could not sleep due to 3 worries. What to do with this mystery record? Whom to find to hand it over? Where to go to find them? These 3 things caused me insomnia, but gradually I was able to sleep again. For the past few years, I have searched for people online, tiantong.com. If anyone clearly understands this Zen Sect study, I will hand over Tanju Zen Sect Pagoda and this mystery record for them to use as they see fit. However, for 3 years, many have come to present their Zen practice. I asked these Zen teachers how they practiced, and each answered differently. In truth, they did not even know the basic concept of the Zen Sect, let alone how to practice it. Fortunately for me, on May 14, 2017, the authorities and the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha permitted me to announce this mystery record so that many people could know of it. Now, the Buddha's mystery record, transmitted along the Zen Sect lineage, has been announced. I have 3 hopes: that people realize the Buddha taught 6 distinct Dharma paths. Anyone may choose whichever path they wish to follow. For each Dharma path, the Buddha analyzed every detail very clearly, logically, and scientifically. Specifically, the mystery record we announced on May 14, 2017, is the 6th Dharma path that the Buddha secretly transmitted along the Zen Sect lineage. In this 6th path, the Buddha taught very clearly and in detail about human beings, all things, the earth, the 3 realms, the Buddha realm, the universe, the laws of cause and effect and reincarnation, and the formula to escape and return to the Buddha realm. Lay Zen Master Author Nguyen Nhan. Respectfully. Note: this is an English translation of the book titled Huyen Kyu Duk Phat Trien Theo Dong Tien Tong, originally published in 2019 by the HCM Culture and Arts Publishing House. This is a personal, independent translation produced with the assistance of Google Gemini. Please read and reflect with discernment, as no translation can ever fully convey the profound essence of the original text.